All right, so it was a troubling week for the National Football League, and the news is still coming in from the Tennessee Titans. A week after their facility was shut down, they're still generating positives, which tells us more than I think we ever really understood about the incubation period of this disease. The New England Patriots, I'm told, continue to get negative tests in the aftermath of the news that Cam Newton tested positive on Friday with a result that came back Saturday morning. See, there's two types of tests, Chris. There's the point-of-care test where you do it right there. You take the test, you get the result in a matter of minutes, at least within an hour. You don't have to send it out to a lab. Then there's the test samples they harvest on site, send them off to a lab, and you wait. And I was told yesterday how long you wait depends upon how close you are to the lab. They got to put it in a van. They got to take it somewhere. They got to get it to the lab. And once the lab gets it, they can test it fairly quickly, but the lag is driven in large part by how far you are. So sometimes you find out at night, sometimes you find out the next morning. But what I've been told is the Patriots found out that Sunday's samples that were sent off-site for testing, all negative. So the good news is, and I haven't heard anything about the Chiefs, and people are like, well, why aren't folks focused on the Chiefs? Yeah. They have a positive player, too, in Jordan Ta'amu, practice squad quarterback. And, yeah, there's the same potential for an outbreak in Kansas City as there is in New England. Both teams so far clean, other than the two who tested positive. Both teams due to play tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern to make up the game that was postponed from yesterday after the news emerged of the two positives. But this just shows you how crazy it all can be, how changes need to be made quickly, and how tenuous it ultimately is going to be to get 256 games in, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little scary. It brought us back to reality this last week, for sure. I think, listen, everything in our country brought us back to reality, I think, a little last week. I mean, no doubt. And I'm not even, whether it's...
Did it, though?
No, well, I don't know. I don't know.
Do you really think people have understood? Because I think all it does, it's another instance of where we can line up in our two tribes and shout profanity at each other.
Man, I don't even...
That no facts are changing anything. Even with the president in the hospital for 3 days with COVID-19, it's not changing anyone's view on whether masks work or don't work, or whether you're a Karen or a beta because you wear a mask. It's stupid to me. Nothing's going to change our view on it. We're hardened in our position.
Okay, I don't. Those people are stupid. I don't know what else to say. You're stupid. You don't like. It's like if you were going to have a conversation with Bill Belichick and go, I'm not going to really listen to you about football. I'm not sure about your credentials. You don't know. I mean, that's what you're doing to people who are saying to wear a mask. Sorry. And the guy who mocked it, of course, karma came back. All right. So now it's everywhere, though. Forget that. I mean, it's starting to pop up everywhere through our country. Even here in Connecticut, we're starting to see it a little bit more. And it's scary. It is. It seems like it's not going to be, we're not going to be able to avoid this all year long. And, Mike, I come back to what you said last week. I know I said it last night, and I meant to give you credit on the show when I said it. I mean, I think you're right. We're getting towards the part of we're going to have 32 bubbles. I really do. I mean, just as you listen to the experts, we're getting into fall season. Last year, flu season was horrible to begin with before Corona was here. So now you're going to have the combination of that and then lowered immune systems and things like that. And I'm just scared that we won't be able to get it done unless teams start to kind of create their own hotel bubble that way. And that's the only way to ensure the safety.
The challenge for the NFL Players Association, which is constantly engaged in collective bargaining with the league, and it's not just something that happens every time they do a new deal. There are issues that come up all the time, and there was a huge issue that came up in July. How are we going to negotiate the protocols for playing this season in the pandemic? And I respect the fact that you always try to get something for your constituency when management wants you to do something. But there's a point where you just have to realize it's in our best interest to go along with this. The union needs to say, we will go get into the bubbles. The numbers are going up. And the best way to look at it, and I had someone explain it like this to me over the weekend. In every NFL building, there are 170 stories. Not that they're 170 stories tall. There are 170 people who have their own lives, their own tale. They go home. We don't know how they're potentially getting infected. Are they going out and doing dumb things like Derek Carr and friends last Monday night? Are they just going home and there happens to be somebody in the house who was out that day who accidentally got infected? You don't know what these people are doing when they leave. So the only way to avoid that is to put everybody in a hotel. Hotel to practice. Practice to hotel. We've been banging this drum over and over again, but it's getting worse. And somebody said to me last night, I can't remember who it was, that basically if there's one more of these, one more incident, that's when the NFL is going to do it. Well, why are you waiting for one more? You know one more is going to happen. Why are you waiting for it? Do it now.
Agreed. I mean, I think we're getting very close to that. I mean, if Cam Newton's not enough of a name to pop up, if the Tennessee Titans, where we're having positive tests daily for, 6 days in a row now, Mike? Was it 5? Either way. I mean, that's scary. What are you going to do? I mean, the Titans right now, we're not sure they're going to play next week. They might miss 2 games. Right. How is that going to work? How is that going to be fair to other teams? So that's where I agree with you, Mike. I really do.
Patriots taking 2 planes today to Kansas City. Why? One plane has the 20 or so people who were in close contact with Cam Newton. The other plane has everyone else, which just underscores the incubation period is the donut hole, the unfixable donut hole in this problem for the NFL, because you can be generating negative until the day you give a sample that we find out tomorrow was positive, and you shed virus for a whole day on everyone else, and then they start into the incubation period.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.